Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Hello, friends. It's Color and Chat with Joanna. I'm Joanna. Hi. Hi. I was doing a WIP chat, this is where, if you're not familiar with WIP and chat, or WIP means work in progress, which is my very slow work in progress. I don't know why. I mean, this poor diamond painting has been interrupted by life quite a few times lately. Anyway, just got back from Princeton, New Jersey, and it is so beautiful there. Oh, you guys, it is just, the weather, everything. But while I was minding my own business, which I never do, watching and observing cars around me, there were so many cars of people, by the way, for all the fathers out there, whether you're a dog dad or a dad or whatever kind of dad you are, happy Father's Day. We honor you. I got this for long-suffering husband. Came in the prettiest box. Look, it's got dog dad. This is so cute. The dog is on my lap, which means I can't be moved. A real cup with a metal straw and a cleaner. And, it's just a gesture because my husband really, I try to spoil him on a regular basis. And then what does he do? He puts me on the UB-Tubies, and I am under anesthesia. Yeah, we're going to talk about that this week. But today I just wanted to keep you company and say hello. And I was thinking about, over the weekend, I didn't have the dogs with me. And, I have this wonderful dog sitter. She is not just a wonderful dog sitter because she loves dogs. She loves them. But she's a wonderful human being. And I have made a new friend. And I thought, friends, I thought about how many people are out here in the wilderness and don't have any friends. Hang on, Jay, is it 18? Okay, I have to talk out louder, it all goes to rye. Anyway, and I thought about it, and she said, there's going to be a day when you're going to start feeling stronger, and we're going to be the best of friends. And I was like, well, I want that. I want that so much. And I had a subscriber, and I did a WIP chat that was somewhat humorous. I guess it amused her or made her laugh, which is all I really want to do, is brighten someone's day. But today, something she said made me so puzzled. She said, "You have so many friends. You are so popular." And I was like, "Girl, are you sure about that?" I was like, "I don't feel popular, but I always want to think of the song from Wicked. Popular, I want to be popular. Popular comes at a cost that there's a circle, and I like to stay right on the outside edge of it, because when you get deep in the friendship circle, sometimes you can get hurt, because you have to understand. And she said, "Can I ask you something, Joanna?" And I said, "Of course you can." I said, "You can ask me anything, anytime." I mean, I don't always know all the answers, okay? I sound like a know-it-all sometimes, but I'm really not. And she said, "How do you make friends?" I said, "What do you mean, how do you make friends?" "Well, I'm just so terribly... the only friends I have are on the internet. I don't have any friends." And I thought about this because there's a lot of, especially since the pandemic, a lot of people, showed their true colors. The helpers came out in force, and some came out at their worst. It's a very, very tragic thing to not get out of your house, get out of your element. Now, my dog walker and I do not have, we don't agree on everything. We have different religious or spiritual ideals, but we're both very, very positive, and we both know how rare it is to find someone who just gets you. And you have to look for that. You have to hunt for that. You cannot find that on the internet. You cannot find that on, hottie.com. You really can't. You gotta find friends, and then you have to learn the boundaries of friendship, which I believe are so important. Because, even my dog, and I really said, I know I miss my YouTube community, because I haven't been on a lot lately. I had to have a wisdom tooth pulled, and it took like 3 days before I could talk again. I was like, the school teacher from Charlie Brown. Anyway, and I thought, how do you be a friend? How do you make a friend? So I went digging in the rabbit hole on the internet, because I'm in the car, I'm not driving. Why not? And I learned about this science project. Now, I am not advocating animal science. I hate it. I think we can find other ways to solve problems and study things. But this particular company, this group, you know, they were doing rat stuff, and they had a rat, and they gave the rat morphine water every day. Now, some of you are going, lucky rat, you know, where others are like, oh, that's kind of sad. They put a tiny bit of morphine in his water, and he lived alone in his little cage. They would put toys in there, but he wouldn't play with them. And, you know, he basically, he died of loneliness, the poor rat, you know. So then they had another experiment. And what they did was they put 2 bowls of water, and one had the morphine in it, and the other was clean water. And they put 3 rats in a cage, and they put toys and bright colors and, you know, little spinny wheels and things that rats like to do. The rats all became friends, and, are you ready for this? The rats didn't go to the morphine water when they were thirsty. They had a choice. You know, they had a choice as to whether to drink the bad water or drink the good water. And they wanted the good water. And they, you know, made friends, and sometimes they bickered and they fought, but they would be cuddled up together, sound asleep an hour later. So they learned to work out their social differences, which is something that this country, I know I'm not speaking on behalf of the whole country, but we're pretty much in a leaderless, dangerous place right now. And it doesn't make for trust. It doesn't make for friendship. It's ridiculous. It is very, very, and I know I don't want to go low here. You know, I'm talking about friends. I want us to be friends. I want us to make friends. But, you know, when somebody comes to you and they flat out ask you, how do you make a friend? Because you're funny and you're popular and you're, you know, none of these are skills, okay? None of them are skills. They're just who you are. And so, you know, I know there's little stragglers in here. I'll worry with them later. Anyway, I said, well, you know, the first thing is you got to get away from that computer. That computer is a tool. And yes, it does help you communicate, but it is not the source of friendship. Matter of fact, it can be the source of a lot of pain. I have had friends that have been bullied so badly, they've been in tears, wallowing, saying, I can't do this anymore because this person said this to me, and it hit them hard. I mean, it hit them like a brick. And I'm like, what? Why are you even paying attention to this? And she was like, because I thought that person was my friend. And I said, well, what made you think that? You know, and it was like, well, because I mean, she told me I look nice, or she told me she liked my nails or my hair, or, these are superficial things. When you have real trouble, when you have real problems, who are the top 5 people on your call list? Because there are people who really just love, and I say this with no sarcasm at all. I say this because it happens. There are friends who are, I call them the 911 friends. They're only around when the you-know-what hits the fan. And you think, well, that's a good friend to have because, when things go bad, I can call on that person. But that person has an agenda. That person might not be the rescue me call that you're looking for. What you need is someone who's going to be available in the good times too. Do you call that girl when you go, hi, oh my God, I just got on American Idol, or I just won an award, or, what, who's that girl? I have friends who are literally, I call them and I think, gosh, I haven't heard from them in a while. And then I find out that they were planning on doing something that is so dark and so horrible, and that is giving up the gift of life. I mean, really, if you're hurting that much and you're calling out to strangers on a hotline, that's not a gesture, okay? And I really personally don't believe in any kind of gestures. I think people mean it when they mean it, and they're that afraid that they cannot find a friend. And you should always be able to call a friend. You should always be able to call someone and say, what do I do? But how to make a friend? First thing you need to do is be a friend. There are a million things you can do. If you love coloring and drawing, going to a local assisted living or a nursing home, and they don't have to be, fancy or bougie. You don't have to go every day. You might make a friend. I made a friend from a woman who, oh my God, she told me stories that would curl your hair. Girl, she was hilarious. And she was, 90 years old when she passed away. And I came to the funeral because, this is my friend. I have to go to the funeral, and pay tribute to her. And, I call it paying the bill. Whenever a dog or a cat dies or an animal dies or something you love, you got to pay your bill. And, it's an old Irish thing. You've got to go pay the bill now. You've got to go say thank you. And you've got to mourn and tear and have all of those feelings so you can get them out of your way and show love, to the person. Well, I found out she had a monster family. Huge. huge, huge family. I mean, really, really big. And I showed up, and she was African American, and I was like the only white girl in the zip code. I'm not kidding. There must have been hundreds of people, and here comes Dingbat Blondie, and they all looked at me and they said, you at the right funeral? I said, yeah, I'm here for Hetty. And they went, oh, you know who you are? Oh, I know who you is. I know who you is. And I was like, she goes running through the crowd, and she's, yakking mouthing to everybody. This be Hetty's friend. This be Hetty's friend. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I feel so out of place. Here I am with George. No, Lucy at the time. I had Lucy with me. I did not have Gandalf because it was a little hot, and Lucy had better tolerance for the heat, and I knew we'd be outside. And they had a beautiful case on with men in top hats and feathers. And they had everybody in white umbrellas. Everyone was given a white umbrella. It was truly a celebration. And, excuse me, I still have sinus issues. Beautiful, beautiful service. And I mean, everybody from the community, basically came together to make this happen for her. She didn't have a lot of money, but, you don't care. Anyway, she had so many friends. I was like, look at all these people. They're not her family. I mean, she had a big family. She had children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren, because she got married when she was 15. That's another story for another time, because it's a good story. It's like a Color Purple serious story, but anyway, let me try to stay on track here, because me and my ADD. So we had the service, and I mean, there were musicians, and there were girls dressed in white ballet dresses that danced for her. It was like a big, what you want to call in the South, you call it a hella-do. It was a hella-do. And, I kind of, I was overwhelmed. I was like, I was treated just like everybody else. Nobody treated me any better, any worse. It was all, they couldn't have been kinder to me, because who's going to say it doesn't feel natural to be at a place when you're with a huge group of people and none of them look like you? Well, I started telling the stories, and they said, wait a minute. She gonna come on up here. This is Joanna, and she be the white girl who used to come and see Hetty all the time. And I was laughing. I was like, oh my God, please don't make me speak in public. I mean, really, when they say the scariest thing in your life is to speak in public? That's it. I was like having a moment, but I knew I had to, because I owed her, you know. And so I started telling some stories about Hetty and how she loved Lucy, and she was, and all of the mourners, which was, like I said, a zip code of people. I'm telling you, there had to be 300 or 400 people there. It was massive. It was so beautiful. It was just so freaking beautiful. I'm like, oh my God. Hold on a minute. You know, everybody was at their best, and they were drinking and eating and laughing and smiling and telling all their stories about Hetty. And then I got up and I told one of mine, you know, and I brought a picture that I enlarged of an 8x10. And I framed it, and oh, you should have seen the family fighting over that. I said, don't fight over it. I'll make you one too. She said, yeah, you need to put that on the page so everybody can make one, because now we all want it. It's so beautiful. And it's Hetty with Lucy sleeping on her. And Lucy's got her head tucked up under her chin. And they're just, you know, I mean, both smiling. I know when a dog smiles when they're sleeping, it's so sweet. And, you know, Hetty's smiling, and she said, oh, I'm going to keep after this one. I'm going to take her from you. Don't you blink. Don't you go down the hall and go see them other people. This is my dog. You know, this is my baby. And I would really, you know, I would stop by and say hello to some of the other residents. But to this day, one of her grandchildren is and will always be my best friend. And you know why? Because she told me, she said, when you die, you need to make sure that long suffering calls me first. And I said, why? And she said, because I'm going to come and I'm going to take all them crusty old underwears that you've been wearing for 5-10 years. Because, you know, we all have our favorite underwear that we wear till they're dead. She says, I'm going to come and I'm going to get rid of them all. I'm going to clean the house and make sure that everything is spotless and perfect. And that was like, I thought at first, okay, we really are drunk now, because we're talking about underwear and dead people. And it's like, yeah, but they come and take all your stuff. And I don't want them to see that. I want to keep you looking good, girl. She said, and I definitely want to do your makeup. And I was like, okay, you know, but I'm not staying in a box. I'm not paying rent. When I'm gone, I'm gone. I'm going to the Neptune Society when I die. And she said, girl, why you want to be down there with all them fish? And I was like, I don't know. I love the water. I'm a Pisces. I want to be with the fish. By the way, if you guys don't know about it, the Neptune Society is where Julia Child is interned. And I'm a chef, or a retired one. So, you know, Julia was our Elvis back in my day, okay? Which I know you're thinking, how old is this girl? Is she like 125 years old? Damn close to it, okay? I'm old. But I don't want to act old yet because I don't have time for it. So, I told her, I got on the Insta phone and I said, let's talk like people. I told her the story about Hetty and how much Hetty filled my life. I mean, at first I would only go to see her like once a month, and then I'd go and see her once a week, and then I'd go and see her twice a week, and then I'd just go see her if I was having a crappy day. And, I just couldn't get enough of her. I mean, she was so easy to be with. But she was also very smart because she had, I really believe it's important when you are friend shopping, and you should friend shop the way you're interviewing someone for a job interview, really. I really believe that. Get it out of the way. I mean, life is going way too fast now, and people are taking less and less time on each other. Do one of those quick dates, where you go for coffee and hang out and you say, okay, I really enjoy that person's company. Maybe they're not for me. Maybe it's not a long-term thing, but maybe it is. I mean, I never knew that, Sylvia and I would have so much in common. And now I'm like, oh my God, I adore her, till the end of time, because Sylvia showed up in person. You have to show up. You have to show your person. You have to look someone in the eyes and say, who are you? And it's not always going to go well. It's not always going to go great. I, had a friendship situation that went awry, and I mean, it literally sent me into a therapist's office because I was like, well, my husband doesn't want to hear any more of this. He's like, no, you need to get this shit out of your system. And he was right. I did. I had to get it out of my system. And so I went to talk to a therapist because they're wonderful and they get paid to listen to your crap. Not all of them are really great, but, picking a therapist is like picking a great swimsuit. Man, picking a swimsuit is not easy. Okay? You gotta have one that puts the sagging dragons in the right zip code and doesn't crawl up your butt and say, hey, what's going on in your internal organs? I mean, you gotta have a swim. It's not an easy thing. I mean, I'm notorious for ordering 7 or 8 bathing suits. I Amazon it. I'm like, I'm not going to the mall. No way. No way. Those crazy people have cameras, and nobody needs to see that much of me. So, I'm notorious for ordering on Amazon and then, sending a lot of them back. Some of them I put on and go, Greenpeace is coming and they're going to pick me up and throw me back in the ocean. I know it. But, and then there's other swimsuits that I'm like, okay, I could wear this and not get laughed at out loud. I mean, I'm not a skinny girl. I'm extremely heavy chested, and oh God, I wish I could get rid of them. But after the whole Joan Rivers thing, I'm kind of scared. So, you know, you get to a certain age and you're like, you know what? I don't think I need to go on the table for anything that isn't that vital. You know, vanity can kick your ass and kill you. So I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Anyway, the thing is, I never really cared a lot for, we would have to go to nursing homes and assisted living facilities when I was with the fire department all the time. We'd have to go all the time and, you know, pick them up and take them to the hospital. And I never really, I don't know, something about it always made me feel uneasy. And I had to force myself. I had to get out of my box. And I made the sweetest friend. And to this day, like I said, our friendship grew from there. Because this girl, even though she is in Texas and I'm in Delaware, you know, she wants to be the first one to know when I bite the bullet, because she wants to hide all my stinky underwear. I mean, you know, if that's not a real friend, what is? So, what I say, basically, the advice I'm giving that isn't worth a nickel is go meet people on the real. Go meet people on the real. You'll be surprised. You'll surprise yourself, and you are never, listen to me, sub girl who called me on the phone, you are never, ever unworthy of being a good friend. But you have to put the work in. You can't get it for free. Even my dogs. You know, I say to my dogs, you know, oh, they love me unconditionally. My dogs do not love me unconditionally. If I beat those dogs and starve those dogs, do you think they're going to trust me or love me? No. That trust and that love and that care is earned. Do you understand me? Don't buy a dog thinking he's just going to love you through all of your, you know, mood swings and you're throwing shit everywhere. You know, all you're going to do is instill fear in that dog. And the dog's not going to trust you, because that dog has feelings. They smell anxiety on a person like perfume. I'm not kidding. They know. This is why they're so, you know, when you get a good dog and you take good care of them, it breaks your heart. It does. You know, I mean, when I get upstairs, the first thing I'm going to talk to him or her about is, why don't you let them live longer? You know, I mean, you make us live 100 years and you give our pets 10, maybe 15 tops. So that's going to be one of those questions I have. But in the meantime, go make a friend. Go proceed with caution. Use your instincts, because sometimes you can get caught up in the inertia of, oh my God, this girl is so popular and she likes me. You know what? She doesn't like you. She wants something. You know, be careful. because sometimes they have a motive and it's not nice. You know, you'll survive it. You'll get over it. But why cause yourself that pain? Don't cause yourself that pain, you know? And be accountable to your friends, and your friends will be accountable to you. But don't just say, well, you know, I mean, don't make it like a dating app, okay? I want one that's 6'2", eyes of blue, and he's got a really good family, and he's really, you know, because the friendships you have in your life are even more important than the romantic relationships you have, which I happen to be very, very fortunate that I have a guy that I said yes to, and we are friends. You know, I mean, do I always agree with everything he says? No. You say anything about him, you're dead meat. You know what I mean? I have protective issues about my friends. Really, really protective issues. But just go out and go anywhere you want. But also, what friends offer you is help. You need to help them too. You know, it goes both ways. So know that when you're getting into a friendship, okay, I'm committed to this person. This person needs help. I'm there. You know, are you committed? Or are you just a casual friend? And, you know, it's okay. It's okay to have acquaintances. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But when it comes down, there's a list of about 5 people that you're going to call. So what I want you to do today for your little homework is make a list. Make your 5 list and see, you know, not to test your friends. You should never test your friendships. If you give an ultimatum, you can count on that being an instant goodbye. Nobody gives me an ultimatum. I'm way too good a friend for that. I know that. Also have friends that, you know, maybe I'm their only friend. And you might want to think about that and say, you might be their only friend. You may not even know. Anyway, I want you to know that if you kick me when I'm down, I will remember it. I'll forgive it, but I won't forget it. Okay? But, you know, go be a friend. Go be a friend. Make a new friend. You can do it. You can make new friends every single day. They're all out there. They're all waiting for you. And then, because it was from a friend that I actually met the man that I have just spent the last 22 years with. And I said, well, if I don't have a friend in the world, I know I've got this guy. You know? And it was through a friend that we met. So take your friendship seriously. Hope I've been a help. If not, say, girl, that girl's crazy. Shut up. and move on to another channel. But I hope you don't. I really hope you don't. I want you to know how much I appreciate all of your kindness and all of your friendships and all of your understandings. Lately, we have been going through a fragile time with my father-in-law, the captain, and yeah, he wasn't ever like a boat captain or anything. I call him the captain because he's a captain of industry. So, but we had a lovely weekend with them, and we had a great time and spent some really valuable, friendly time together. Just hanging out. Nothing special. Just hanging out. Listen, you out there, you here, you girl in the corner with the brown hair. Yeah, who might be, throwing a tear back right now. You're important to me. You're important to me. So be important to you. Take care of you. We are social creatures. We are not meant to be computer fembots, okay? We are social animals. Even if your best friend's a rat, take care of him, have fun with him, and don't put any morphine in his water. I know. I hate that they do that. Anyway, I love you guys more than my shoes. And I mean that because I'm getting ready to do this Swedish death cleaning. I know it sounds so scary, right? Like, oh my God, is she dying? No. Swedish death cleaning is just kind of a big declutter where you say to yourself, who's going to want all this crap when I'm dead? And keeping the good stuff and maybe letting a little bit of kitsch go, which is hard for me because everyone knows that I am a little fond of kitsch. I'm a little fond of, just stupid memorabilia, playbills, and Broadway show tickets, and oh my God, the non-rev tickets I got when John was flying, we went I'm not kidding, it's this thick. It's when they used to give you paper tickets, to board your boarding passes. My boarding passes are ridiculous. Who's going to want this when I'm dead? Nobody. So it's hard to, oh, George says hello. Daddy just walked in the door, so he had to make us a presence known. Anyway, so I'm in the process of doing that. It's going to take like a closet at a time, a drawer at a time, and just throw crap away. Or give it away, or donate it. The diamond paintings. Some of you people are going to really, really want to be my friends because we're doing a clean out on that too. Anyway, I love you guys. Take care. Have a great Monday, and I will see you in my next video. I'll see you in my next video. I love the way Eleanor O'Neill says video. So anyway, the next video, I'll see you. Bye.